The Federal Reserve did not raise interest rates. The evangelical church said no soup for you when it comes to lady pastors. And guess what? We found a place for Elon Musk to go and live. All that coming up on the headlines. The Federal Reserve put its aggressive interest rate hike campaign on hold. So if you're hoping to get a mortgage for, I don't know, a 2-bedroom, 1-chamber pot shack on a brownfield site for $400,000, because that's how much things cost now, well, you're in luck. The Fed is reportedly pausing its rate increases to see how close to its goal of driving inflation down to 2% that it has gotten. We are currently at maybe between 4 or 5%, depending on who you ask. But it takes a little while for that to trickle through to see how effective the former rate hikes have been. All major U.S. news outlets reported on this today, and I didn't see even one of them ask a question outside the Overton window of acceptable free market discourse. They asked things like, is the Fed finished raising rates? When will they raise them again? And some said yes, and some said no. And the discussion went on and on and on. But no one talked about one of the main drivers of inflation right now, which, of course, is corporate price gouging. No one discussed how raising interest rates to curb inflation basically puts the onus of slowing inflation on working people who might want to buy something instead of on corporations, that the same corporations that are driving the inflation by profit price inflation, which is the economics term for it, but it's AKA price gouging. It's corporate profiteering that we should all be talking about. And here we are on this show talking about it. So, how do we fix it? How do we fix it? There are price capping mechanisms, of course, that would be rejected by Republicans and many Democrats as well, who are, of course, bought and paid for by those very same profiteering corporations that would be capped. And then there's antitrust legislation. Corporations are raising prices and cheapening their goods. What used to be good, you go and buy it, and now it's crap. It doesn't work anymore. It's plastic when it used to be glass. And they can do this all without losing customers, because where else are people going to go? There's nowhere else to go. There's no competition. Grocery store prices are through the roof because 4 companies control 85% of meat and poultry processing. And there's 2 giant firms that make consumer staples. There's only 3 cable companies in the whole country, and they're all raising their prices. Car dealers are having record profits, and they're raising the price of cars for no good reason. Of course, there's airlines, Wall Street, everybody's raising their prices just basically because they can, because we still believe that maybe post-pandemic there was some supply chain issues and that must still be it. No, it's because the corporations are in a feeding frenzy on the corpse of the working class of people. We can always talk about big pharma. They've got the 5 giants all in cahoots, leading drug prices to through the roof. And if it wasn't for Democrats pushing for Medicare to negotiate prescription drug prices, they'd make an aspirin cost as much as an Audi. Remember, Senator Amy Klobuchar and Peter Welch of Vermont, Bernie country, got that provision into the Inflation Reduction Act that finally lets Medicare negotiate prescription drug prices for the very first time ever. And now the power of 50 million seniors is helping lower prices for everyone in America. And of course, that is one reason Republicans friggin' hate Medicare and want to drown it in a bathtub alongside the teaching of history and drag queen story hours. In other news, one of Saturn's moons appears to have all the ingredients necessary for life. So I'm assuming it's like coffee, cats, an independent bookstore. What else? Phosphorus. That's what else. That's apparently what they found was phosphorus. Enceladus, the name of the planet, not to be confused with ensalada, which is Italian for salad. Enceladus has the only ocean beyond Earth that is known to contain all 6 elements needed for life. They got your carbon, they got hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur, and now phosphorus, along with, of course, water and energy. These are the foundational elements of biochemistry on Earth and could support life up there. Here's a picture of it. Let's get going. Doesn't it look nice? summers in the Craton. Oh, I can't wait. Beam me up, Elon. I am ready to go. I mean, I support, of course, science and exploration. It just strikes me that we used to look for life on other planets. Now we look for a place to live on other planets. I suggest we either find a spot and send all the greed infested, austerity ridden, racist, sexist oppressors there. Probably need a really big place, and then use the rest of science to fix everything down here on our beautiful planet that they worked so hard to both screw up and keep us from fixing. And in our final story today, the Southern Baptist Convention voted to ban female pastors because God said, "Let there be dick." And so there was. I don't even want to get into this one, but generally speaking, I am surprised that there even are female pastors in the Southern Baptist Church. I mean, they expelled this today, along with them saying no female pastors. They also expelled churches, two of them, that had ordained women as pastors from the conference. One was in California, the other one actually in Kentucky, which I found amazing. They said the Southern Baptist Church Council Conference said they wanted to get rid of what they were calling liberal drift because apparently liberal means women are actually people. So maybe it was that. Maybe it was an anti-liberal drift thing. Or maybe they were afraid that those female pastors were going to get in the way of the cover up of hundreds of Southern Baptist church leaders that have been found guilty or have been credibly accused of sexual assault and sexual abuse of children. You may recall that last year at this time, a scathing 205-page document naming hundreds of Baptist leaders and members accused or found guilty of sexual abuse of children came out. The list included 700 entries. And these 700 entries are just cases that happened between the year 2000 and 2019. 19 years. 700 cases in 19 years. Let's just imagine how many more there would be if the investigation was able to cover their entire 178-year history. You can look into this investigation. It was this huge bombshell. It was done by Guidepost Solutions, and it found that the convention's leaders in the executive committee, just like a lot of other churches, failed the public and its community by mishandling sexual abuse cases and mistreating victims and survivors. And this is the same church, people, that has been staunchly against abortion. These child abusers and rapists are then coming back to you. These very same kid diddlers are coming back to you and telling you that you can't have an abortion because it's wrong. I don't know how they can think they have any kind of moral authority. Maybe they don't. Maybe they are just straight out power mad insanity people. Or perhaps they're hoping you will just birth their next victim. I'm Julianna Forlano. This is the Political Voices Network, and I look forward to reading your comments on today's program. If you like the headline pieces that I've been putting out here on this channel, hit the subscribe button. We would like that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Hi, everybody. Julianna Forlano here for the Political Voices Network. We hope you're enjoying Political Voices and all the content we provide on the daily. Now, there are a few new programs in the wings that are going to launch just in time for election season. If you're able and would like to help us continue bringing you all this content, please help support us by clicking the join button. We're going to have some perks for members, including early video release. You get the information first. Members only chat rooms, live shows, member badges, all the good stuff and more, all coming soon. So click that join button if you can to support us. And rest assured, we will continue to bring you all the great content you have known from the Political Voices Network and more. Thanks so much. See you soon.